Anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to do this stream because I was like, you know what? It's been a super shitty fucking week, and with Ozzy dying, and then Hulk Hogan today. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do a stream, and even if it's just for like an hour or something, and you know, whoever shows up, like whatever, we can just talk about this kind of stuff because I know for me, like, uh, there's a definite like there's a crossover with with metal and wrestling, and both of those things are like a pretty big part of my life. The way that I grew up, and being a teenager and everything, and I mean even into my adulthood. um J10 said, "Where's the N64? The wrestling games were godlike on N64." Yeah, I played them at friends' houses and stuff, but I never had them myself, like when I was growing up. But I know that they are really great, and I actually don't have an N64 right now. Well, I take that back. I have one, but there's something wrong with it, and I haven't looked at it to try and figure out what it is. Um, so I probably just need to like buy one. Um, Jay Chen said a bit of our childhoods died this week. Yeah, I think for a lot of people of a certain age, you know, it's definitely like, yeah, like two of the biggest, like, icons of the, well, with Ozzy, I mean, it was the fucking 70s, 80s, 90s, his whole life, and Hogan for the 80s for sure, 80s and 90s, and beyond. But yeah, it's like if you were a kid particularly in the 80s, it's like, holy shit, like Ozzy and Hulk Hogan dying in the same fucking week is pretty fucking wild. Which, speaking of, I cracked one open, so I'll pour one out, but drink it. um, but yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer. But let me get this game started real quick here. I like how when you put a quarter in, like you get like a little guitar riff. We'll see if I can actually even beat this thing because it's pretty. I remember the arcade being pretty brutal. Roy said still got Black Sabbath playing on the playlist. Nice. Um, I'll start with this guy. This guy's actually not an American. He's like the Russian guy, but I think like in his bio, it's like he's Russian, but he loves American heavy metal. Which I always thought was pretty funny. Um, yeah, it's funny. A lot of people are, like, oh, I got Ozzy on the, I got playlists, or I busted out my records or whatever and shit like that. And it's funny for me. It's like really just nothing changed. Like I listen to Ozzy and Black Sabbath like pretty much weekly, if not daily. um, so yeah, for me, it's like par for the course. Just listening to Ozzy in particular. Um, I talked about it in this thing that I wrote where, um, like as much as like Black Sabbath is like a huge influence on me, and um, I love Black Sabbath. I probably listen to, well, not probably, I know I've listened to Ozzy's solo stuff like way more than Black Sabbath in my life. I've just always been more of a fan of his solo stuff, which I know for like a lot of like metalheads, like they'll give you grief for that, but it's the truth. Love me some Ozzy. Um, and like Black Sabbath was definitely like, clearly like you can hear a lot of that in oh, I already, oh, fucking pinned him. Hell yeah. You can hear a lot of that in the I Am the Icarus stuff, just based on like, guitar riffs and shit like that. Like Tony Iommi obviously was an influence on my guitar playing. Um, but as far as just like popping on a comfort record, like there's definitely way more Ozzy records that that I'll listen to as opposed to Black Sabbath. Look how well the crowd is animated in this game. Like every single little background character. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to even look for like repeats, and it's like there's not. Oh, there's a little bit, but it's not too bad. Oh shit. The little Luce guy. Oh shit. Yeah, and Hulk Hogan, man, that's a rough one for me because, you know, I mean, for a kid growing up in the 80s, it's like that dude was like everybody's hero, man. Everybody fucking loved Hulk. Like Hulkamania was like a real fucking deal thing. Like you can't deny Hulkamania. That shit was crazy in the 80s. Like he was fucking everywhere, man. A fucking Saturday morning cartoon, like the wrestling, you know, action figures, video games. Like it was insane. Dude was everywhere. And like every kid loved Hulk Hogan. Like I didn't know a single kid that did not fucking love Hulk Hogan. And wrestling for that matter. I mean, wrestling was fucking huge in the 80s and 90s. I know it kind of had maybe like a little bit of a drop off in the early 90s, like before Attitude Era and WCW or whatever, but other than that, I mean, it was pretty huge. Jay Chan said Rey Mysterio was my character, although I could never do his special moves as a kid. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like most of the characters that I use are like Attitude Era characters. Like I like using Mankind, and I also like using like probably my number one is Shawn Michaels. I probably use him more than anyone if he's in the game. Or like I'll use Bret Hart a lot too. But again, like, you know, it depends on the game, because some of the games, like, you know, maybe they don't have certain characters, whatever. I always kind of hated that. But, you know, I guess the roster has got so huge, it's like, it becomes difficult. They've got to make choices. And then I'm sure, like, also there was, like, contract things, too, where people were in or out of contract. Jen said Mick Foley, Sacco. Yeah. Oh, I just lost. I got beat by Hagar. I can't remember if he was Hagar in the Super Nintendo version, because I used to rent the Super Nintendo version back in the day of Saturday Night Slam Masters, but I can't remember if he was playable. Let's try this guy. This is the other American wrestler. Jay Chan said Comrade Zangief. Jay Chan said there's Easter eggs in this, yeah. Man, it's already like getting like way harder, and this is like the third fight. I will not be surprised if I can't beat this. I figure I'm probably just gonna go for about an hour tonight, since you know, it's kind of like a impromptu thing. But we'll see if I can beat it. If I get close, maybe I'll go longer than an hour. But damn it. Oh, he's got way longer reach than I do. He's kind of overpowered. Oh, I missed him. Got him. The graphics are really fucking good for this game. Looks great. there's so much detail in everything. They should make like some modern dev should make like a more like kind of arcade hand drawn like sprite based game like this. I think there's one out there that I've seen, but it's like kind of like a different style than this one. This one's almost like it borders on like a fighting game. Oh no, shit! Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out! Oh, I had my chance to pin him. Shit. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Nice. That was close. J-Chan said this game's pretty amazing. Yeah, I love this game. You wuss. My old lady's tougher than you. What a diss. Yeah, it's getting to that. I guess everybody goes through this as they get older, and it's like, you know, I'm 43, but it's like, you know, all the people I grew up with are starting to fucking kick the bucket, man. It's fucking bummer. And like even the, you know, the like Gen X guys are starting to get older too, you know, like I think like, you know, like Billy Corgan I think is in his 60s now, which is fucking insane. Oh no. Oh, I didn't mean to go out of the thing. I was trying to do this. There we go. Oh, I missed him. Although the Gen X guys, it's like, I feel like for the most part, like, those dudes all fucking died young. I feel like Billy Corgan's gonna live forever, though. I hope. Ah, damn it. Shit. Oh no, I didn't mean to go out again. Got him. I'm gonna try and pin him, fuck it. Damn. Oh! Just slamming the buttons. Damn it. No! I'm done. Oh, shit. Ah. J-Chan said, LOL, he grabbed the table. Yeah. I like this guy. This guy's pretty cool. Yeah, but when I heard about Hulk Hogan this morning, like literally the first thing I thought about was my uncle. And it's funny because my mom even texted me, and she was, you know, she was pretty bummed too, but like, which I mean shows you like how much impact Hulk Hogan actually had. But my mom texted me and she was like, you know, it made me think, because it was her brother, but my uncle. She was thinking about him or whatever, because that dude would have been completely fucking distraught if he was still alive. Oh wait, hold on. Damn it. But yeah, my uncle, he was the one that he got me into wrestling, because he was fucking all into it, you know, and he was into wrestling even before like kind of like, you know, it became like the big thing that it did. I think he wrestled in high school. Oh shit. Hold on. Damn it. I can't fucking... There we go. Pin him. Pin him, pin him, pin him. Alright, got it. But yeah, he's the one that got me into wrestling, and I told the story on X today. I don't think I had ever talked about it online, but you know, whenever I think about my uncle, one of the first things I always think about is WrestleMania 6, which was like a big one for anybody that saw that back in the day, because it was the, you know, the one where the main event was Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. And you know, like my uncle had been talking about it for, you know, weeks or whatever, like, you know, we're gonna get the pay-per-view, it's gonna be awesome or whatever. So like my dad ordered it for us, and we ordered pizza, and they bought a bunch of beer, and my dad and uncle were drinking beer and shit, and you know, whatever. Like, it was super fun, and but nobody expected what was gonna happen, and you know, which, spoiler, you know, fucking Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan. And it was just like, it was shocking. I was even shocked. Like, as a kid, I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's not what I was expecting to happen. And anyway, but my uncle was like a huge Hulk Hogan fan. And the thing you have to keep in mind too about my uncle was he was a Hell's Angel. So like, straight up like hardcore fucking biker dude, you know what I mean? Tattooed and bearded and like the whole nine. And anyway, when the match was over, like he was speechless. Like, he couldn't say anything, and he literally just like got up and left the room and went to like one of the other rooms in the house, and didn't come out and shit. And then like I found out later, you know, I don't think anybody told me when I was a kid, but like years later I found out, yeah, the reason like he left was because he literally went to the other room to go cry. And it was just like, oh my god, dude, like, you know. But that shows like how much, like, you know, wrestling like impacts people, and you know how into it he was, like, that even like a fucking hardcore Hell's Angel biker dude could be brought to tears by a fucking wrestling match. But yeah, I always think about him when I think about that match, and that was like kind of the first thing I thought of when I heard the news about Hulk Hogan today. You know, and my uncle was the one who got me into wrestling, so I always associate the two. The other thing that's kind of a bummer, and this really like hit pretty hard with Ozzy, was a lot of these people are dying now, but like there's no one really to take up the mantle. There's no one to take their place, you know. Like, I mean, I get it, like, you know, Ozzy is one of a kind, like there will never be another Ozzy. Same thing with Hulk Hogan, you know, these are like one of a kind type people. But you know, particularly like with like rock music, it's like there needs to be like, you know, younger bands to keep it going. And it's like, you know, when rock stars died in the past, it was like, you know, sad and stuff, but it's like we had other bands and we had other, you know, rock stars and stuff. But you know, who do we have now that's younger? You know what I mean? Like, there should be a bunch of like 20-year-old dudes out there in bands who are like the new rock stars, and there's not. The only rock stars that are left are like, you know, the youngest ones are maybe in their 40s. If that, I'm like trying to rack my brain, but it's like, you know, but real, you know, real deal like rock stars, like they're all old, the ones that are left, you know. There's no young rock stars, and that's fucking sad, you know. Like, people used to say all the time back in the day, like, I remember hearing it even in the 90s, people would be like, oh, rock is dead, and I'd be like, bullshit, rock's not dead, because it wasn't, you know. It was just people just being fucking dramatic. But you know, I guess like nowadays, like, you look at it and it's like, maybe it's true, maybe rock finally is dead, like, if there's no one to take up the mantle afterwards, you know. So Jay Chen said I had the exact same thought. Um, so yeah, I think that once the last guys are gone, unless in the next decade or so, unless there's some sort of like some big new music scene that breaks out, like kind of how grunge did or whatever. But if that doesn't happen, it's like it's kind of over. But I mean, we don't really live in a world anymore that there's no room for rock stars. We don't live in a world that is made for rock stars anymore. Um, which again is a bummer. But oh shit, and part of it too is like there's no like organic movements anymore. You know what I mean? Like everything is so like fucking manufactured and everything's so fake, and the things that you think are like organically happening, it's not. It's like it's all like influencers like you know getting paid to like spread shit and whatever. Like it's not, none of it's organic, which is again why you don't have any real rock stars, because I think a lot of people can tell like when shit's not real, because they question like, why is this even popular? You see that a lot. It's like, why is this person popular? Why do I even know who this person is? Like, oh fuck. Oh, this is gonna be a close one. Get wrecked. Pin him. Got him. J Chen said the mantle is up for grabs in America. Oh yeah, for sure. What's up for grabs anywhere, you know what I mean? Anywhere where there's rock and roll. And the problem too is like, like all that the music industry pushes is pop music and some form of rap. Like that's all they push anymore. So there's a lot of it. A lot of it is the fault of the music industry. Oh shit! I beat it. Nice. I just beat it and I didn't even realize it. That's pretty cool. Hell yeah. Instant Messenger Sama said, streaming literally killed that possibility of new rock metal era. You rarely hear a baritone man with a deeper voice these days. Yeah, I mean, streaming definitely has killed music in a lot of ways. And like, oh, I didn't beat it. I still gotta go. It's funny because like, in a lot of ways, like people gave Lars Ulrich a lot of shit back in the day, the drummer from Metallica, because he was speaking out against Napster and like downloading and stuff, but like clearly like he couldn't predict the future, you know what I mean? But he was sort of warning against, in a way, like what ended up happening, you know what I mean? Like and the whole irony is that people cheered when the music industry collapsed, because they were like, oh, the evil fucking record labels and whatever, right? After the whole Napster and downloading music and all that shit. But the irony of that is that what came back in its place after the music industry collapsed, the record industry is worse than it's ever been. It's way more corporate and fucking evil and like robs artists of their money, and like it's worse than it's ever fucking been. And companies like Spotify are fucking evil as fuck. So it's like, it's just funny that people were like, yay, the music industry died because whatever, we should all have our free downloads and blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, you killed it. You fucking people. So yeah, it's streaming sucks, man. And you know, again, like nothing is organic on there. Like you're like somebody like me, my band, it's impossible for anybody to discover my band, because it's all fucking like algorithmic shit that fucking Spotify chooses, and like, you know, playlists and all this kind of stuff. And the playlists are, you know, there's all kinds of like backdoor deals, and like fucking people make fucking deals with like influencers to like, oh, I'm gonna put you on my playlist or whatever the fuck, like all this kind of bullshit. But none of it's organic. It's all like, it's almost like pay to play shit in a way. So yeah, you're right. Streaming fucking ruined a lot of this shit. And there's, I don't know that there's actually any coming back. J Chan said silently using Spotify. I mean, yeah, we're all guilty of it, you know what I mean? But you do have holdouts like me who, bam, bam, and bam. You know, like I still have a huge fucking CD collection, and I, you know, I'm retro like that. I like listening to my CDs. But yeah, it's, you know, I think it's coming back a little bit. I you know, there's sort of like nostalgia for physical media, and I think a lot of people are realizing like, oh shit, like I don't own anything if I'm, you know, just streaming and whatever. So, you know, you're kind of seeing a little bit of a renaissance there with physical media. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the whole streaming thing needs to fucking die, because, you know, it's the only way that the music industry is ever going to be creative again. It's kind of just like the internet has ruined everything, really. Like there's no room for anybody to be like an original anymore. Like everybody just wants to be like whatever the popular thing is, and, you know, like nobody tries to stand out. And it's not just, you know, music, it's everything, like film and video games and just like all entertainment. Like everything is very samey, and like the samey shit that they're all copying is like crap. Like it's not even like good shit that they're trying to copy. So no. I almost had him. Get up. Damn it. Oh, I'm gonna fucking lose this one. This might be the end. I'm gonna lose my championship. I don't even know why I try to pin him still when they still have health. Damn it. Oh shit. Okay, this is getting crazy. Oh! Is anyone gonna go to their room and cry when I fucking lose? When I lose my championship? Oh! God, it's over. Instant Messenger Sam has said, yeah, every geek collection could be in a museum these days without anyone noticing it. It's also about preservation. Yeah, it's super important to, you know, preserve these things. I'm gonna give Hagar a shot here, but yeah, like, you know, music and movies and yada yada. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's out of print. Like, I actually, you know, like I have some CDs that like I've looked up out of curiosity, like some more like kind of underground bands. I've looked up out of curiosity on eBay, and they're like hundreds of dollars because, you know, it's out of print, and that's it. And some of the stuff's not even on streaming either. You know, and the fucked up part about streaming is that, you know, record labels and the bands themselves, like anybody can pull shit like willy-nilly, like off of streaming, and then it's like, if that's what you were relying on, it's like you're never going to be able to hear that again. If you don't have a hard copy of it, like that's it. Like, you know, it's kind of done. You know, and also just there was something about physical media that's like, especially records, that was just so much more. It was a much more intimate experience. Like, you know, when you listen to a record on Spotify, you're just seeing the thumbnail of the album art, right? And that's it. But it's like back in the day, like you had the liner notes with the lyrics, and you know, a lot of times, you know, the thank you section would, you know, be interesting to read, and you know, the credits of everybody who worked on the record, you know, from the musicians themselves to like the engineers and just everybody, you know, where it was recorded, what studio they did it at, like who the A&R person was. Like you'd learn all this information. It was just cool to read, you know. And then aside from just the fucking, it's not just about the cover art, you know what I mean? Like there would be like fucking, you know, sometimes whole pages that would fold out from the CD booklet that had art, you know, more artwork and photographs and whatever. Like there was a real, like, people put a lot of effort into those things sometimes. And like I remember one in particular that always stood out to me was Antichrist Superstar, Marilyn Manson. Like it had this really long fold out, you know, and if you folded it a certain way, there was like hidden messages, and you know, there was all these creepy pictures of the band and shit, and like, you know, it was just really creative and really cool. And you know, if you just listen to that record on Spotify, you're missing out on all that. You know what I mean? Like you're just getting the thumbnail of one side of the album art. Like, you know what I mean? Like that slipcase actually had two sides, you know? So, yeah, you're just people are just, they're not getting the full experience. And it's sad. No! No, 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 no. Come on, get him, get him, get him. I gotta get over there. Pin him, pin him. Two. Got him. Instant Messenger Sam said you had a journey with the set record, not only because the art itself, but also your way of experiencing it would make a huge difference. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was like a whole thing. Like, you know, like I remember being like a kid and a teenager and like, you know, getting a new record, and it's like, you know, you'd put it in the stereo and lay on the floor and, you know, fold out the album art and just kind of read it while you were listening to the record. And you know, or you know, when I got older as a teenager and was driving, you know, you go to the store and pick up the record and then, you know, pop it in your car and drive around and, you know, listen to it, open it in your car. And you know, and the CDs would have those stickers, you know, that were like on the top of the CD, and like you'd have to peel it off to open it. And then like sometimes like I would stick those like on my steering wheel and it would stay there for like a week, whatever like the newest record was that I just gone out and bought. So, you know, and again, that's like, you know, bring it back to like Ozzy and Hulk Hogan. It's like all that shit is ending, you know what I mean? Like the whole eras are ending, you know. Like this week was a huge era in just entertainment and like, you know, the kind of shit that we grew up with. It's like it's all coming to an end, and it's really sad. Like, and the saddest part is, you know, there's, like I said, like there's nothing cool to replace it, you know. Like it would be a different thing if like there was something cool in its place, but there's not. There's really not. You know, and honestly, like I kind of blame it all on millennials, because it's like they're really, you know, millennials and Gen Z, like, but mostly millennials, because they kind of created a lot of the fucking world that we're fucking having to endure. Instant messengers. Sama said VHS tapes, man. Oh hell yeah, brother. I got so many VHS tapes. Um, I actually have one that you can't even get this movie anywhere except on VHS, which is Meet the Applegates, which is this like crazy ass like kind of horror comedy movie about this family that like they're actually like they're like I think they're like a type of roach or something. Um, but they're like posing as humans. They're wearing like human skin. So and then they just like move to the suburbs and shit. But they're actually bugs. It's a fucking wild ass movie. Yeah, you can only get that movie on VHS. They never did like a DVD or anything. You know, and there's also like movies that, you know, I still prefer to watch on VHS, like a lot of horror movies, but one in particular, I've talked about this before on X, is The Terminator. I fucking love Terminator on VHS because it has a different audio mix than what they did on DVD. And like for whatever reason they changed like some of the gun sounds, and there's a lot of little things that they changed in the audio mix on Terminator when they transferred it over to DVD, and it kind of sucks. And then also that movie was meant to be watched in like 4:3. It just looks way better than in 16:9. Like, well, really, it looks better in like an open matte kind of thing. But like, I don't know, that movie just the way that everything is framed, it just looks way better on like a 4:3 like CRT TV. It looks great. So yeah, I'll watch that a lot more than I'll watch it on like DVD. And horror movies too. I feel like horror movies, like there's just like I have so many memories of just renting horror movies, and you know it was all on VHS back in the day. So there's like that nostalgic thing of like watching them that way, that it hits a lot more than it does when I watch it. Like, you know, particularly like I've seen some of these in like 4K and stuff, and it's like it's just not the same. Instant Messenger said 70s and 80s horror movies do look better on analog, especially the underground horror and B horror classics from that era. Yeah, oh for sure. A lot of times when you see the special effects in 4K, it's like, oh wow, this looks fake as fuck. But you know, when you watched it back in the day on VHS with like, you know, film, like, you know, grain, and like on a CRT TV and whatever, like it's like, you know, it looked real. You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh man, this looks fucked up. But then if you watch it in 4K, which it wasn't meant to be seen in 4K, it's like, oh man, this looks so fake. You know, it takes away some of the mystique. Um, so yeah. Same thing with wrestling too. I mean, I used to, I even owned, but I rented a bunch of wrestling VHS and stuff. And then even when I was watching wrestling, you know, all the Hogan that I watched back in the day, when I watched Hulk Hogan on TV, it was on a fucking CRT TV. You know what I mean? Like, so it just, I don't know. There's something about it that just like, I just don't like this like whole like high definition era. Like things aren't the same. Like, oh fuck, I did that too soon. Oh no! Get up! Damn, he clotheslined me. Get up, get up, get up! That was way too close. Shit. Get up. I can't get up. There we go. No! Oh no. It's the end. I can't get up with no health. The monkey. But yeah, that's why I want to put out like my band's last record and my side project. I just put out a record. I want to put them both out on CD. If not this year, next year. I really want to do it. Like even if like nobody buys it because like nobody really knows my band, I still want to do it at least for myself and like my kid. You know what I mean? So she can have, you know, copies of it. It's not too expensive if I do like a small run. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to do that. Instant Messenger Sam said VHS is still the best version to witness Lord of the Rings. It had the best color blends. I owned every release of it. It's appalling to see the downgrade. Are you talking about the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings? Um, I can't remember if I ever I don't know if I've actually seen it on VHS. That's kind of interesting. I might have to check that out. Um, yeah, because like I've only ever seen it on DVD, and then eventually I got it on Blu-ray, but um, I never watched it on VHS. Because I think by the time that came out, I had kind of, like a lot of people, I had kind of moved on to DVD by that point. Because I was like early 2000s, so yeah, I was pretty much DVD at that point. Which, in retrospect, it's like, man, some DVDs like looked way worse than VHS because they were all like digitized and like they had like pixelation issues sometimes. It's like, so it actually, yeah, it looked worse than VHS. Blu-ray fixed a lot of that, but yeah, DVD was a pretty shitty format, like looking back on it. And I think people are gonna people are gonna look back on 4K, I think, almost the way we kind of look back on DVD. I think Blu-ray was kind of the best disc format. In 4K, like people are doing a lot of like really shitty practices, like AI, like upscaling and all this kind of stuff that like looks really bad. Like James Cameron is the worst. Like his fucking shit that he's been doing, like doing the AI shit, like it looks terrible. But that's interesting about Lord of the Rings. I might jump on eBay after this and see if like there's any affordable copies of it. Hell yeah, brother. I wonder if this just loops. I'll probably keep going for another bit and see if I can loop it. But yeah, what a fucking bummer of a fucking week, man. Ozzy and fucking Hulk Hogan in the same week. It's like, I just, it's upsetting. Like I was telling my mom, like I said, my mom texted me today. She didn't text me about the Ozzy thing, but she texted me about Hulk Hogan, and I told her, I was like, like I don't really usually like, you know, not even usually, like I don't cry when celebrities die, but yeah, the Ozzy thing hit really hard because, you know, if anybody's listened to my band, I mean, you can hear, the Black Sabbath influence on a lot of stuff. It's like, it's just, the guy meant a lot to me. Like, his music meant a lot to me. Like, most of us that play the kind of music that we do, like, wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne. So it's like, it was a big one, man. And then, just to have like, somebody like Hulk Hogan too, like literally 2 days later, it's like, God, my two childhood heroes, man, like just both gone in the span of a week. The Awesomeness Destroyer said, I thought you had to do 2 runs to beat it. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, because it showed like I got a championship belt and then it kept going. So okay, I see there's like 2 more. Okay, so maybe I need 2 more to beat it. Okay, I'll keep going then until I beat it. Instant Messenger said, yeah, it's sad, man. Awesomeness said, we also lost Theo from Family Matters and Connie Francis. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the Family Matters thing too is like, it was funny because it was like when I saw that, I was like, man, I hadn't fucking thought about that in fucking forever. You know what I mean? Like, um, that's pretty crazy. Oh shit. No, I don't want to give up. What the fuck? Man, that's something that's definitely missing nowadays is like, what happened to the fucking family sitcom, man? There's like no fucking family sitcoms for people anymore. Like, I used to love that shit. Like, I grew up with like, you know, Married with Children and fucking um, uh, Family Ties, like fucking whatever, all of them. Like, you know, like it was a lot of good shit. Home Improvement was fucking rad. Like, 80s and 90s, there was just like so many, and yeah, it's just a bummer. Roseanne, that was my favorite one. Roseanne was amazing. I loved that show. It was relatable for me too. Oh no! Even shit like Alf, man. Like, Alf was great. I loved Alf. Although, goddamn, Alf was like the worst with the fucking the way that it ended on that cliffhanger. Like, that haunted me as a kid. Like, how could they do that, man? With that fucking, it was like the worst cliffhanger of all time. Oh no, get off me! Oh no, I'm stunned. Shit! No! Oh fuck, I lost. Awesomeness said this guy's the sub boss and then final boss. Okay. I will keep trying then. And then he said my childhood shows were MM, WWE, G4 TV. I love Golden Girls. Yeah, Golden Girls was funny. Yeah, I watched a lot of, well, for me it was WWF. Um, but yeah, like, fuck, man. I watched so much wrestling. I mean, I literally watched like almost every fucking time it was on TV from like the 80s until the early 2000s. I finally, kind of like after the Monday Night Wars ended, I didn't watch for much longer after that. Like into the early 2000s, like that was kind of when I stopped watching wrestling. You know, but it was kind of had to do with the changes, but then also like that was when my band, I started like really focusing a lot more on music. I mean, I kind of already had been by like the late 90s, but by early 2000s it was like I just didn't really, I kind of missed a lot of like TV and stuff like that, like from the early 2000s, because I was just so like busy with music. Oh fuck, this guy's kind of hard. Instant Messenger said early ECW was also great. Oh hell yeah, brother, shit was awesome. Awesomeness Destroyer said I'm 25, so yeah, I feel you. Yeah, it's funny for people that are older that it's like with the whole like WWE thing. It's like I still sometimes fuck up and call it WWF. Like, I never got over it. It was so weird for me when they changed it, man. Oh shit! No, I'm gonna lose. Come on. I don't want to do this again. I want to be done with this fucking fight. Come on. Can I pin him? Is it done? Nope. Shit. One more. Come on. Get wrecked, bitch! No. Turn him over. Pin that motherfucker. Boom! Eat shit. Awesomeness Destroyer said, "Love the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers." Yeah, I was kind of like, I think maybe a little bit too old by the time that came out. But what's going to be interesting is I kind of want to introduce my kid to it. So I just did this with Dragon Ball. I actually didn't really watch much Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z when I was growing up. Um, But long story short, I bought my kid a random VHS that had a bunch of Cartoon Network stuff, like off of eBay, and I was showing it to her because, I wanted to show her like old how TV used to be back in the day and whatever. But anyway, she fell in love with There was an episode of Dragon Ball and an episode of Dragon Ball Z, and she fell in love with it. So I was like, okay, like whatever, like we'll start watching. And I was like, I've never really watched it, so anyway, so we really got into it. I actually got really into it. I was like, holy shit, I feel like an idiot for never watching fucking Dragon Ball. Like, I fucking love this shit. It's awesome. So anyway, I think I might actually do that with Power Rangers because, like, I didn't watch it, but I know a lot of people love it, and I think she would dig it. Considering how much she dug Dragon Ball Z, I think she would get a kick out of Power Rangers. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be watching that soon. Oh no! I'm done. Awesome Destroyer said my mom introduced me to it. Same with gaming. Oh, nice. And WWE. I got my mom into Naruto when I was 7. That's cool, man. Oops, I took a screenshot instead of... I was trying to continue. Alright, let's go back to this guy, give him a shot. Instant Messenger said, I grew up on Super Sentai and both Power Rangers. Both are dope, but Super Sentai was at its peak in the 80s. Oh, nice. The only stuff that I watched that I guess, I don't know if it's kind of considered the same sort of genre-esque, but like I watched a lot of like fucking Godzilla and like Gamera and like that kind of stuff when I was growing up. Which I do kind of, I can see that aspect in Power Rangers and stuff with like the big monsters and everything. But I fucking loved Godzilla and Gamera and all that shit when I was a kid. God damn, I'm just getting my fucking ass handed to me. Holy shit. Ugh, fuck, man. I don't think there's any coming back from this. How do you get under the thing? Ah, fuck it. Ah. No! Roy said kaiju. Kamen Rider is the same genre. Yeah, the kaiju movies. So much lost media, yeah. I gotta beat this guy. Roy said just watch Shin Godzilla before the stream. Oh, nice. I fucking love that movie. They're actually, I heard that they might do a sequel, which would be really cool. I love Shin Godzilla. That was actually really cool. Ah, man. Get wrecked. Fuck. Get out of here. Oh no! Shit, 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 shit. Get fucked. Oh no, I didn't mean to cop out of the ring. Shit, no! God damn it. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that either. Oh my god. Man, this guy's fucking brutal. I mean, he's the last boss, I guess, so. Ugh. Got him. Got him again. Come on. I can do this. No. Fuck. No! Come on. Pin him, pin him, pin him, pin him, pin him! 2, 3, done! Hell yeah, brother. Um, Awesome Destroyer said, not really into forensics, but she got me into bones. Instant Messenger said, there's even a North Korean propaganda kaiju movie. I think I've heard about that. Um, that's funny. Hell yeah, brother. All right. This one's for Hogan. This is for the Hulkster. Now I am the strongest, most powerful wrestler, the undisputed champ. Oh, what the fuck? Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. There's a secret boss battle? What the fuck is this? The next battle begins. Oh, okay, it's all right. I thought they were gonna make me do another fucking fight. I was like, oh fuck no. That's not happening. Hell yeah, brother. All right. Roy said Bones was good. Binge that one. Awesome Destroyer said you should play Ring of Destruction Slam Masters 2. Oh yeah, I would if I had it, but I don't have it. This was just an impromptu stream. For you guys who are new, who have never been here before, be really cool if you had a good time. Definitely subscribe. I normally stream every Monday. This is actually my band's YouTube page, but I stream video games on here every Monday. I just decided to come on tonight and do like an impromptu because I was bummed out about Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan, so so I was like, you know, whatever. I'll pick a wrestling game and I'll play through a wrestling game, and you know, people can come on if they want to and just talk about Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne, and maybe I wouldn't feel so sad. So, so that was kind of the point of this one. So, and it looks like I randomly got a playthrough video out of it because I actually managed to beat it. So that's pretty cool. Awesome Destroyer said played it on MAME. Oh, nice. Instant Messenger said I recently replayed Brutal Legend and then I got news of Ozzy's passing. Oh man. Yeah, that game was pretty cool, man. Oh, I gotta put in my initials. D-A-N. I better be at the top of the list. Top of the leaderboard. Is it gonna show me? Doesn't even show me. Awesomeness Destroyer said I got to meet them. Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, I talked about it. You know, when Ozzy died on the day of, I talked about how I didn't get to see him in the 80s, but I finally got to see Ozzy in 1996 when he was doing the Retirement Sucks tour, which was basically, it was the tour for Osmosis for that record. So it was pretty cool. Oh, he said Hogan and Ozzy. You got to meet Hogan and Ozzy. That's pretty cool, man. That's rad. But yeah, it's you know, it's a bummer week. It's definitely the end of an era for a lot of things, for heavy metal music, for wrestling, and you know, both of those things are very close to my heart, heavy metal and wrestling. So, yeah, it's a lot of that stuff kind of hit hard this week, and I was bummed. So, anyway, that's why I wanted to do this stream, just to come and hang out and talk about them for about an hour. And look, it's been exactly an hour, so so I'll wrap it up. But yeah, for everybody that showed up and you know, that was new, definitely subscribe if you had a good time, because like I said, I stream video games every Monday, and you know, and you can listen to my band on here. And you know, it's, even though I hate streaming, my band is on Spotify and Apple Music and all the fucking rest. So but anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. So thanks for hanging, guys. I appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Go listen to some fucking Ozzy Osbourne, some Black Sabbath, and watch some some Hulk Hogan matches on YouTube. All right, everybody, have a good time, and thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you next time. All right, later.